How do you incentivize the integrity of the network so the validators behave reasonably? The current governance structure in place, it's a voting structure among the validators. If any validator is not behaving properly, the other ones can kick them out. There's a minimum threshold for that to happen, but it's quite easy for that to happen. When do you aim to launch the Binance main chain? From Crypto Batsman. We don't know yet. That depends on how the current testing progress goes. We'll see what happens. What's your goal in terms? So the next question is also from Crypto Batsman. What's your goal in terms of volume and monthly active users on the DEX short term? So again, I don't really know what the goal is. So we don't really set a goal, say, I don't know, it's X number of users or X amount of trading volume. I think basically the ultimate goal is to have the DEX being more popular than all the centralized exchanges. So that's the ultimate goal for DEX. But at the same time, we will continue to push centralized exchanges in terms of features and usability as well. So we'll see how that evolves. We support both developments. I think when the technology gets to a certain point, DEX will become popular. Will tokens who switch to Binance Chain get free, cheaper listing fees? This is also from all of those questions are from Crypto's Batsman. So initially, I think the first few projects we will grandfather them in, and we'll give them. We basically will reimburse the fees onto the network. And so yes, but later on, it depends on how many projects we get on the Binance Chain. Again, it's demand and supply driven. If the demand is high, we will reduce the incentives. Will tokens? Will tokens who switch to Binance Chain get listed on Binance centralized exchange or the DEX? So I think I answered that already. They will get priority consideration. So the next one is from MBG Buzzer. What model of listing will be on DEX? Only 100K or 100K plus voting of validators, where payments does not guarantee listing. So there will be a fee. The 100K is just a number I threw out there. We're really not sure we're going to go with that number, to be honest. But again, any number I say is going to be broadcasted, and people are really bent out of shape on that number. It will be that number plus vote. It will be a number in terms of listing fee plus voting. So the validators have to vote. So basically, the current mechanism that's designed is you have to apply. When you apply, you pay for a very small fee. And then when the validators vote and pass, and then now you can decide to pay the real fee and then get listed, or you can decide not to pay the fee and not list it. So it's really a free market. If you think the fee is too high, then don't pay and don't list. The next question is: will validators on Binance Chain be required to stake BNB in order to process DEX trades, or will it be delegated stake based? Is there a rough estimate of how many validators there will be? This is from Multicoin Capital. Right now, the current design is the validators, if they run it, they don't have to stake BNB, but that might change at any time. So we haven't really thought about the governance process of the validators. We just want to get the network working first, and then we'll worry about. Well, I think the governance aspect of the validators is simple to do. Many people, that's a solved problem. Many people have different solutions. That's more of a business design instead of a technical design. So the current priority is all to make sure the technology works. So the next question is also from Multicoin Capital. Can you provide details? Can you provide any details on Binance Chain gateways, on-ramps for depositing non-Binance Chain asset onto DEX? Will you allow third-party gateways to issue PEG tokens on DEX besides Binance.com itself? So I think the first step. So I think many people, many people who played with our testnet have the misconception that Binance Chain is only for PEG tokens. That is not true. Our aim is actually to just to have more native tokens issued on Binance Chain. But initially, we will have some PEG. We will have some PEG tokens, like especially the stable coins and other major currencies. We don't have to be the only party to peg them. So Binance.com may provide the pegging facility ourselves, but we don't have to be the only ones. Anyone can provide pegging facilities but we want to make sure the pegging is done in a much more transparent fashion. So ideally, we want to see where there is a address which holds the pegged tokens or pegged coins. For example, if someone wants to peg BTC, it should be a very simple mechanism where there's one address which holds the BTC. Everybody can view it, and there should be an order book with a buy order of that full amount, a 1-to-1 ratio, so that when people want to convert back, they can convert right away. And we want to make sure that the full liquidity is there. So as long as other people can do the same process, being transparent and do the pegging, we're fully for it. The next two questions are on the delisting. What exactly motivated the recent delisting from H3X Mind? I think I explained this before. So the next question is, what is the V label worth to Binance? If they give this project's later become delisted, it can be at any. Okay. So basically, the V label on Binance Info is it basically means that the information on Binance Info is verified by the project team itself. So Binance Info is a place where communities can supply information about coins. So we're just providing the platform. We don't actually provide the whole information. Whereas the V label just means that the projects actually verify the information themselves. So that's what the V labels mean. It does not mean we endorse or not endorse the project in any way. And the V label does not affect our decision to list or delist the tokens later on. So that's the V label. Launchpad, do you choose first? Okay, why do you choose first come first serve? From Christian Nguyen. So again, I think I explained that already. Binance Launchpad introduced new projects users in March. So from a Reno BTC, Reno SBTC. So the next Launchpad project will be announced later today. Yes, we're doing another one in March. How does Binance plan to expand the Launchpad? From Taurus Crypto. So basically, we look for good projects as long as there are good projects coming on to Binance to Launchpad. So this application process for Launchpad is public. If you go to the Binance website and get to the Launchpad section, you can apply. As long as they're good projects, we will do them. But we don't want to overly do them if they're not good projects. The next question is on BCF. So at Binance BTF recently made donations for ALS and is doing great work in Africa. What types of projects is Binance Charity Foundation most interested in? How will Binance Chain and BCF interplay? From Regano ESQ. So first, the BCF team will be doing an AMA on March 18th. So please do join that one as well. But in general, Binance Charity Foundation is more of a platform, so we don't really choose. We don't really have a specialty on one type of charity work. We want to support all charity work that are done transparently, that are tracked on the blockchain. So that's our strong mandate. With all the charity needs to be done on the blockchain. So the Binance Charity Foundation, the platform, will support a number of different charity work. So basically, what we call different charity programs. So over time, we'll add more to it. How much does so the same question from Taurus Crypto? How much does Binance plan to pledge towards philanthropy in 2019? We don't have a set number. Again, we got to find good philanthropy projects that are willing, that are crypto compatible. That goes to the extent of teaching the end beneficiaries about crypto and are able to track the entire process through the blockchain. When we find those kind of projects, we're happy to donate. And also we're not just donating ourselves. We are actually donating. We're actually asking our other partners to donate with us. So right now we actually have quite a bit of donations in the bank sort of concept that we're waiting to give out. But we just got to find good projects. The next question from Alex Jeffes. Okay, so how often you often talk about how you met your crypto buddies through poker games? Do you still play Texas Hold'em? Do you see a lot of similarities between trading and poker skills? When do we organize Binance charity poker tournaments only for BNB holders? From Alex. Yeah, so I used to play poker quite a bit a few years ago, but I stopped completely. I haven't played for like 2 or 3 years, other than some very casual games. I'm a terrible player at Texas Hold'em, so I generally lose, and I'm not patient enough. That's also I think that's also what made me a terrible trader. So I don't trade either. I think poker and trading are similar. You got to have a lot of patience. You got to control your behavior. You got to control your timing. You can't have the wrong behavior at you can't have the right behavior at the wrong time. That will not work. So yeah, so basically I don't play poker now. We don't have any plans to organize poker tournaments. I think those things are very time consuming. I think for Binance Charity, they're more efficient things for them to organize. So nothing on the plan right now. For Labs, what is your investment thesis at Labs, and how is that influencing S2 of season 2 of Incubator, especially within the new Lagos chapter? Will you be increasing focus on emerging markets or not? This is from a DS Talk exchange. So yes, we are actually expanding Labs quite significantly around the world. So the second season of Incubator, we actually do incubators from 5 different locations and bring them together in one place towards the end. So it does require quite a bit more effort, but we are doing that around the world. Our investment thesis is quite simple. It's anything that helps this ecosystem grow. So anything that helps the blockchain ecosystem grow. So we mostly, so my word for Binance Labs is really more infrastructure impact investments. So anything that improves the infrastructure, faster blockchains, better wallets, more secure wallets, payments, e-commerce, any of those fundamental things, we will invest in. So it's very broad, but we look at each specific project. General Binance questions. What are the biggest challenges ahead of Binance this year? From Natasha. I think basically we face challenges all the time. There's so many challenges right now. I think basically, but for Binance this year, most of the challenge is internal. We need to focus more internal on how we improve our internal management, internal organization, internal communication. The team's grown to a size where we're facing some of those issues. But luckily, everyone's very motivated. So we overcome those issues by pure passion. Hey CZ, what is the one thing you feel Binance can improve upon from Nubu Pragu? I think as I just said, I think Binance internal communications can be improved upon. Right now, we have so many projects going on. At any given time, one person may not know about what's going on in other parts of the organization, especially given that we're so decentralized. So I'm hoping to find ways to improve in that area. What's the aim for Binance in 5 years? I think I talked about that before from Jakan 786. We basically want to be the infrastructure services provider in providing a few infrastructure services in this space. So we have a good exchange. Hopefully we'll have a good DEX. And then we have a good wallet, and hopefully we'll grow that as well. So we want to provide a few infrastructure services in this area. Next question from Binance states that the team's very passionate and a big source of the success of the company. Are you currently accepting interns around the world from Mongolia, Asia? Yes, we are accepting interns around the world. So the best place to apply for a job is through the Binance.com homepage. There's a career or jobs link at the bottom, at the top. And that's the best way to apply. When you apply that way, your resume and your application gets into the system. A lot of people message me directly, but it's kind of hard for me to get your resume into the system that way. So yes, we are hiring in almost every team, every department, but we do have a small team and we grow very slowly. That's intentional. So don't get sometimes some teams don't have allocations. So it changes from day to day. So don't get upset if you don't get accepted. How do you focus on so many areas at once? Every area, exchange, OTC, Launchpad, etc., is a different business unit with different strategies. How do you make sure that everything is on track and aligned towards one goal and vision? This is from AR Efray. Get it? Yes, I agree. I think basically we're focused on too many directions. Actually, we have too many initiatives going on. I actually want to focus on less. But I think right now most of the initiatives are complementary, and we only start a new initiative, a new project when we have the good person to lead it. So when we have a good team. So far each team is doing quite well because the teams are relatively independent and relatively self-sufficient. But overall, I think for me, I personally don't get involved in a lot of the initiatives we have now. So I actually don't know what's going on in all of Binance. I do have a high level of understanding, but on a day-to-day basis, the team just carries on with it. So general question for CZ. Do you feel that major retail investment in crypto is crucial for the necessary liquidity required for mass adoption? From Mike P. Guitar. So yes, I think basically major retail investment would be good for the Binance, for the crypto adoption. I think that's key. But it may or may not be the only one that's needed. For example, in 2017, the crypto adoption increased because of fundraising activities. Some of them may not be fully healthy, but that's what drove the. I think that's what drove the adoption in 2017. What's going to be the next killer app? I don't know. But I think retail adoption is important. From Live and Pay, globally, what can we do to help mass adoption? So this is also related to mass adoption. Yeah, so I don't know what the next killer app is. So if you asked me 2 years ago what the next killer app is, I would not have said fundraising. We'll see. We just got to be ready when it happens. From Crypto Batman again, what are your interests besides crypto? I read a lot of books, so I listen and read to books, Twitter is kind of my hobby. I spend a lot of time on Twitter, so usually more than an hour a day, and multiple times a day. I do enjoy. I don't watch movies that often. When everybody recommends me a movie, I do watch it. I watched Battle Angels recently, and it was great. I loved it. I think it's a great movie. What are your favorite books? From Godzilla on the live chat. If you look at the, I did a podcast with Anthony Pomp, and I recommended 3 books. So you should check the Twitter on that. So the last AMA, you mentioned that you'll be interested in a repo partnership becoming the XRapid exchange. So what's the current? So again, I don't really comment on commercial discussions. I said last time that we don't have anything active going on, but we're definitely not against becoming a XRapid partner. But